Hi.
Hi.
I'm Brian Nutter. Welcome to our GCA news desk here. This is gonna be fun. We're at Musicians Institute Guitar Craft Academy here in Nashville. I'm Brian Nutter. I'm lead instructor at for the electric guitar department here. To my left is Steve Mather, a former lead instructor here. Steve is back with us as an instructor a few days a week, and we're going to kind of get into what we do here, what Steve's done, what Steve's been up to, and just sort of get you guys give you a little insight as to how things roll. So I have my own little guitar company called Nutter Guitars. I used to tour and play, with various artists across the country. So if some of you may have seen me play before, if you have, I'm sorry. If you did and you paid money for it, I'm sorry, maybe. But Steve over here has done a bunch of different stuff. He is, well, actually, I'm just going to let Steve talk about it. So, Steve, how did you start playing?
As a teen, started playing guitar, then primarily bass. I really got into, like all the punk stuff and all the loud and fast stuff. But with that, guitars break a lot faster.
That's because we're done.
So, kind of the luthery aspect of it kind of came out of necessity. Things broke a lot. And I wanted to know how they work. Attended Guitar Craft Academy in Hollywood, and I think it's the span between 06, 07. I also took the BIT program there. And then, I took the BIT program. Found out that I'm a lot better at working on them than I am playing them. And then also the paycheck's better.
Yeah, buddy.
So,
more stable.
Yeah, definitely. So from there, I went on and became a TA at the Hollywood School. And continued, my education essentially. And it was like taking the program over and over again,
right,
because I was teaching new crops of students that would come in, and I'd be brushing up on my skills as we go.
How many students were usually enrolled in Hollywood?
It would fluctuate, but overall, with the day and the night, you'd have classes that were about 30 students.
Huh.
So, but before they moved to that bigger location, probably somewhere about 20 max.
Okay. That's a good bit. I mean, it's a
lot of students that came out.
Yeah, that's a lot of guitars to be making with guys that some of whom have usually never touched a screwdriver in their life.
Yes. Yeah, starting from square one, GCA day one. This is your screwdriver. This is how you use it.
Yeah. If you came in here with all 10 fingers, we're making sure that you leave with all 10 fingers.
Definitely. From there, I worked at Thorn Guitars, helping with Ron Thorn's line of guitars, and then also helping with some of the custom inlay from time to time.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Ron is currently a premier master builder at the Fender Custom Shop and is about to head up the custom shop if he's not already.
I believe he's taken that position now.
Yeah.
So I worked for him and his guitar line. The great thing about that is fully custom built stuff. It was all kinds of crazy wood combinations, crazy inlay. So it was something outside of very standard guitar. So I was exposed to a lot of things after that.
Yeah, really like a small scale production shop, wasn't it?
Very much so. It was 4 of us in there.
Wow, that's cool. That's really cool. How many guitars were you doing a month with Ron?
It fluctuated depending on the year, but I think at max capacity we're maybe doing 8-ish.
Dude, that's a lot.
It's a lot for a small crew like that.
Yeah, that's a lot of guitars. A lot of people don't realize what really goes into making the guitar. Some folks that think that, you see all those guitars that come out from overseas and think that they may have a machine over there that you toss a log into and it spits out a strung up and tuned up guitar on the other side. That's not the case.
A lot of steps in between.
Yeah.
A lot of hand skills, a lot of hand sanding, hand carving,
Oh, man.
fine tuning to
For real.
really make it a completed instrument.
Well, I mean, even all that stuff is being done overseas. You know, you hear about the use of CNC machines, and all the CNC does is just removes the majority of the stuff that doesn't look like the guitar you want. Everything else is done by hand.
It gets you closer.
Yeah. Closer, quicker.
Yeah.
Now, so after Ron, you went on to Collings, right?
Yeah, I moved to Austin and worked for Collings for about 2 years. I had the pleasure of working with Bill Collings.
God, that's amazing.
Incredibly smart guy, wild man at heart. Most of the stories, if you've heard any stories about Bill, they're probably true.
That's right. He was a hot rod guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, definitely an adrenaline junkie, but incredible guitar builder. And the one thing I learned there more than anything is it was, for the amount of guitars they were putting out, it was a pretty small crew there for the line of guitars they were putting out, acoustics, electrics, mandolins, ukuleles.
Yeah, they had a huge product line.
And very small crews in each department, but the biggest thing was the quality control there. The quality control is insane there. I learned how to sand better than anything.
Better than everybody, I bet.
Yeah, the sanding alone that comes out of there is incredible.
Yeah.
Watching an F-style mandolin get sanded for 8 hours until it's ready for paint.
Yeah, I mean, but that said, I've never seen a Collings guitar that wasn't just spotlessly flawless. I mean, it was
By far best finish in the game.
for real.
Yeah.
For real. They're just, it's crazy stuff. Now, were you doing repair this whole time?
I've always been taking on repair. When I lived in LA, in Hollywood, I was taking on repair there. So I would always supplement the building work with also repair work on the side.
Sure.
And then from time to time, I would move on to repair work full time in between building jobs, essentially.
Right.
Which was nice because it kind of allotted me a looser schedule. I don't have to punch the clock. I could travel a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's great for that.
Yeah, sort of like master of your own destiny at that point. Take on whatever you wanted.
Yeah, so I did repairs. I've done repairs here in Nashville. I've done repairs in Austin, LA, San Francisco Bay Area.
Yeah.
So kind of all over the map.
Now, when Steve's talking about doing repair, you guys got to understand that he's not talking about just doing setups and string changes and pickup swaps. He's doing really high-level things, making things that don't exist or used to exist or that you can't get anymore, or repairing things that probably just should have been burned to begin with and bringing them completely back to life. Yeah, the level of repair and restoration that Steve and Darren and actually the rest of the staff that are here are capable of doing, it's pretty remarkable. Now, how did you get here from Collings?
From Collings, I left Austin and moved up to the family farm.
Yeah.
You know, took a year off, helped them build chicken coops. But to supplement my income, a friend of mine was opening up a repair shop in Oakland.
Okay.
So I'd commute down off the mountain and help him out with repairs. And he's a buddy of mine from a long time ago, and we kind of grew up together and started doing repair about the same time. And so I was doing repair there, kind of on a loose schedule, and I get a call from Michael Pfeiffer, and I hear that there's potential for a Nashville branch of GCA. I was excited.
Michael Pfeiffer is the head of the institution here.
And the Guitar Craft Academy, like, I've always loved the idea of Lutherie School because with students is...
It's really cool.
It's satisfying to watch somebody progress with their skills and to find other people that are obsessed with this stuff as much as I am.
We're all completely bitten and it's an incurable disease, sadly. Yeah, it's cool to see somebody like I've been here now for 2.5 years, and it's been wild to see someone doing their first fret job and really blowing it, and then doing their fourth fret job and still maybe really blowing it, but then like the fifth fret job is immaculate. So there's something that clicks in there, somewhere in between those two, and it's really, really cool to watch that happen.
Yeah, watching people that have never done any type of woodworking, never took wood shop in high school, which I don't really think exists many places anymore.
Yeah, probably not.
Going from that to full build, finished, strung up guitars, playable, great instruments.
Yeah, I mean, so like I've talked about in the last Facebook Live that we did, you do everything here. So you come in. In the electric department, it's a 6-month long course set up into 2 quarters. The first quarter is focused primarily on design and repair. So we will teach you all of the mechanics and math and geometry of laying out and drawing out your full design for your electric guitar that we will build eventually. Repairs from anything from like simple things like setups and how to do that properly to, pickup swaps, any kind of electronic repair, finish, fixing dings and that kind of stuff in a guitar. An acoustic repair is extensive. We got into some just about as heavy as you can get. I mean, regluing braces, fixing cracks in tops, taking the bridge off of an acoustic guitar, regluing it, taking the neck out of an acoustic guitar, taking a fretboard off. So we will show you a lot of different things whenever it comes to repair. Now, this also in the first quarter, you will make a practice neck as well as your final project neck. In the second quarter, then we'll teach you how to make your own pickups. So you'll wind up and put together your own pickups, make the body for the guitar, and do all the finish work. All the while, in both quarters, you'll have like requirements of doing fret jobs and rewires and all kinds of stuff. So it's a lot to cram into 6 months. Then there's the third quarter, which is the acoustic department, which we're actually in the acoustic classroom right now. You can see the big Don McRosty drawing of the 1928 Martin herringbone. So you'll build a Martin-style dreadnought in 10 weeks, which is not easy to do. So it's a very cool thing. And bending all the sides, making your braces, applying binding, doing all the finish work, shaping the neck. It's cool. It's a very cool thing.
Yeah, and these builds, there's no kits.
No.
This is lumber. We go to the lumber yard, we roll it in here, and we start picking out the area that we're going to lay a neck out. Okay, this is going to be your body blank. Pull your templates out. We're chopping them down and teaching from square one from the lumber yard.
Yeah. So all of the lumber that comes in here has saw marks on it. So it's not even, you can't even tell if it's pretty or not by the time we get in. We do have a question, and the question is, dude, so many reasons. So if your surface has to be even, so if you're making a guitar like say a Telecaster, that thing has to be flat on the front and the back. So, but if you use an orbital, you stand the chance of making it a little wavy. It may look flat, but once you hit it with finish, you're going to see all of that wavy stuff. So getting something prepped and perfectly flat, or getting out all of the imperfections and maybe machine marks or tool burns that you'll encounter. All that stuff has to come off before you can apply a great finish, because you can't have a great finish on something that isn't well prepped, because then it is that polishing a turd thing. You will just have a very shiny turd at the very end of it.
Yeah, really when you lay the finish, which is, it should be the cherry on top.
Yeah.
The flatter your surface is, when you apply finish, the better that finish is going to lay on that surface. And in turn, you have a sealer coat and a color coat and a top coat, it's all stackable. Each one, the flatter it is when you start, the flatter the surface is at the end. And you can really get, you know, that piano, that flat, dead flat mirror finish.
Yeah, buddy.
If you really put in the time on the sanding as well. You make sanding your best friend.
Nobody likes doing it, but it is a necessary evil and probably the most crucial thing that you'll end up doing. If starting, you know, from the raw wood, we'll start with sometimes 60 grit, and by the time we're doing finish, we'll finish out with 2,000 grit. And I think my hands are rougher than 2,000 grit. But it's a long and arduous process, but definitely worth doing.
Yep. Necessary. It's in the learning process. It's tough. You get better at it, and it becomes a shorter process.
Now, so back on Steve here. After you came here and worked as lead instructor for what, 4 years?
Yeah, close to 4 years.
Then Steve got called up to the majors and ends up in Corona, California.
So I was at the Fender Custom Shop, and specifically in the master build section. So I was an assistant to the master builders, and so I was working on essentially the highest level that Fender makes. So it was all the master built guitars. So we're talking 8K price tag out the door starting.
If you guys saw the Game of Thrones series that Fender did,
yeah,
that guy.
Those were a labor of love, and the price tag dictated that.
For real.
But incredibly cool experience. I learned a lot of things there. And I'd kind of wander outside my department quite a bit and see the Fender factory and the USA factory, and just the way that they're able to put out so many guitars.
Oh my gosh.
And keep that quality control up, which is incredible.
For real. It's unbelievable, the numbers that they put out.
Yeah. And then also get to see the slow built stuff and the master build side. I can't give away any relic secrets, but seeing
Right.
some of the master builders' relic things.
Yeah, everyone has their own little
very
juju.
specific art form. They all have a style.
Yeah.
And that's what I think when people go to purchase those instruments, they're looking for something from that builder specifically.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, because they look like that guy's guitars.
Yeah, be it, you know, Paul Weller or
Dale.
or Todd Krause or Ron or whoever. Yeah. Yeah, that's a very big thing. So then you end up back here.
I end up back here. Came home to Nashville.
Yeah, man. It's rough to live in California right now.
Yeah, it's a lot. Between the fires and the rents, you know, it's a lot of things.
Yeah, well, the only thing is, you know, the weather's nice. That's about the only thing we got going for it currently. It's I can understand why you would. I mean, I've lived out in LA as well, but man, no thanks. Now, we have some notes here. Now, the skills we talked about, like all of the what we do here. So the skills that you'll have once you get out, you're not gonna that guitar that you're gonna make here. It's gonna be a guitar. It's not gonna be the best guitar you're ever gonna have. It might be really good, but it's gonna be your first one. So think about the first time you did anything. So and we'll be right there with you to make sure that it's as good as it can be. But you're gonna hopefully get out of here and continue to develop those skills, because I'm certainly trying to do it myself. Every guitar, my best guitar is the one I just finished, usually.
Yeah, and it's usually your favorite guitar.
Yeah, totally. It's what I'm striving for. But so the skills that you'll have, I mean, you'll be able to do some pretty extensive repair. You're clearly going to be able to make a guitar from scratch using some pretty basic tools. You'll be able to design new instruments or repair pickups, make your own pickup line. So and doing the same thing in acoustic. So you'll have a pretty decent skill set already together if you're going to go out and find a job, say with a repair house, or you want to go to work for Gibson or Fender, or even smaller companies like here in town, like Novo, or want to apprentice with any of us. You know, there would be you'll have that sort of opportunity. We have grads all over the place.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of them here in town, obviously, working for repair houses like Joe Glazer, or there's a bunch over at Gibson in the USA manufacturing and in Custom Shop. There are a pile of people over at Novo. But then, between us and GCA Hollywood, there are students at ESP, at Schecter, at Ibanez.
Pretty much you
Exotic.
name it, we've probably
Fender, anywhere.
had some grads go through there.
Who's the dude that's overseas now? Went here.
Oh, James.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's working for, I believe it's the umbrella company for Harmony.
Yeah.
And Heritage. So he gets to watch a lot of the prototypes come through.
That's cool. Yeah, so there's a lot. When you can also start your own guitar line or your own repair shop. So I mean, there's a lot of opportunity to be able to do what we do, you know, within the guitar community. And man, they're cool people. You will be hard pressed to find jerks because they are self-weeding. You don't stick around very long if you're not a decent person. So
Yeah, people enjoy having somebody that's a good hang around.
yeah, man, that's 95% of the gig, I think. Your ability is assumed if you're here. So
Because at heart, it's a lot of musicians that happen to also like building guitars.
yeah, man. See if we have any other questions. That's what she said. Yeah.
Thanks, Josh.
It literally says that. Yeah, totally. Well, I think that's really about all we got. Thank you guys for watching this. It's a shame that we still have to wear these masks because we're very handsome. So
Soon enough.
yeah, thanks you guys for watching. And if you got any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to either one of us. You can find me on Instagram under Nutter Guitars.
And I'm at mather.guitars.
Yes, you can contact us here at the school, Musicians Institute Nashville. You can find us on Instagram, clearly, if you're here, MIGCA, or GCA Nashville. So, not even know our own handle. That's really sad. But, thanks again, and we will see you guys soon. This is awkward.